Okay, I literally cannot believe this. Can we please process this mess together? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Paul from Steffy Fans, and I am officially operating on zero sleep and pure adrenaline right now. Look, I am currently staring at my screen at 3 a.m. My eyes are practically bleeding, and my sanity has officially left the chat. I just hit record because this grueling, decade-long journey has finally pushed me completely over the edge. We need to talk about Liam Spencer. And we desperately need to talk about the line that was just crossed because suddenly, everything we thought we knew about this family dynamic has been obliterated into a million pieces. Listen, let's back up for a second and set the stage for this absolute train wreck. The corporate warfare has been escalating, right? Hope Logan is officially packing up her Hope for the Future bags and defecting to Logan. Katie is poaching her. Brooke is throwing a fit, and Steffi Forrester Finnegan is basically sitting on her throne at Forrester Creations, deciding she's not going to just let this happen. Steffi used her absolute, immense, undeniable power as co-CEO to freeze every single one of Hope's new contracts at Logan. It is a major flex. Honestly, it is the kind of ruthless, cutthroat business move that makes Steffi a total icon. She is low-key obsessed with protecting her family's legacy, and she sees Hope as an incompetent traitor. And honestly, is she wrong? Hope is literally taking the name Liam gave her line and running to the competition. Steffi freezing those contracts is a total game changer. It's petty, it's brilliant, and it is exactly the kind of high-stakes drama we live for. But suddenly here comes Liam Spencer. Look, Liam has always been the king of the waffle, the man who cannot make a decision to save his life, but suddenly he's marching up to the Cliff House like he's some sort of white knight defending the honor of the Logan Empire. Basically, he is furious that Steffi is using her corporate leverage to sabotage his wife's new venture. Liam, who works at Spencer Publications, who has no real dog in this fashion fight other than his marriage to Hope, decides he needs to confront Steffi on her own turf. The audacity of this man. He storms into the Cliff House, the ocean waves crashing outside like a literal metaphor for the chaotic energy he is bringing into Steffi's sanctuary. Honestly, the vibe was redlining the second he walked through that door. You could feel the suffocating tension bleeding through the screen. Listen, Steffi is not one to back down. When Liam starts demanding, she unfrees Hope's contracts. Steffi absolutely unleashes on him. She doesn't just defend her business decision. She goes straight for the jugular. She looks Liam dead in the eye and calls Hope exactly what she thinks she's an incompetent traitor. She lays out every single grievance. Every single time Hope has relied on the Forrester name to prop up her mediocre designs and basically tears Hope's professional reputation to shreds. It is a verbal massacre. Steffi is standing there looking absolutely flawless, delivering these hard truths with the precision of a sniper. And Liam is just standing there, taking the hits, his face turning red as his fragile ego starts to crack under the weight of Steffi's undeniable logic. Whoa, I've really gone off chasing butterflies into another dimension here. Analyzing the corporate logistics of Hope for the Future versus Logan fashion lines. Bringing the signal back, let's stick to the script. Because the corporate stuff, that was just the appetizer. The main course of this confrontation was so deeply personal, so incredibly toxic, that I am still physically shaking. Basically, Steffi realizes that attacking Hope's career isn't enough to penetrate Liam's thick skull. So she pivots. She starts mocking Liam's feelings. She starts mocking his absolute blind devotion to a woman who is currently tearing their families apart. Look, Steffi doesn't just mock him. She completely emasculates him. She tells Liam that he is just being led by the nose. She paints this pathetic picture of Liam as a lapdog, blindly following Hope into this ridiculous Logan Forrester war without a single original thought in his head. Honestly, it was brutal. Steffi is basically saying, you are not a man, you are a pawn. And the thing is, she's kind of right. Wait, why are we like this? Am I actually agreeing with Steffi tearing down the father of her child? Yes, I am. Because Liam has been acting like a total pushover for months, but suddenly the energy in the room shifts from a heated argument to something profoundly dangerous. Because right there, playing quietly in the background, is little Kelly. Listen, having Kelly in the room changes the entire dynamic. It's a total game changer. Here are these two adults, these two legacy characters, who shared so much history, screaming at each other while their innocent daughter is just a few feet away. The tension is at absolute terminal velocity at this point. You can see Kelly looking up, her little face registering the anger, the hostility, and instead of de-escalating, instead of realizing that they are traumatizing their child, Steffi decides to drop the ultimate nuclear bomb. Honestly, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I had to rewind the episode 3 times just to make sure I wasn't hallucinating from sleep deprivation. Steffy, in her absolute fury, looks at Liam and tells him that if he continues to stand by Hope, if he continues to side with the Logans in this war, she will use every ounce of her power, her influence, and her money to take full custody of Kelly. I literally screamed at my television. Look, threatening a man's access to his child is the absolute lowest of the low blows. It is a vicious, calculated, and deeply cruel tactic. Basically, Steffy is weaponizing her daughter to win a corporate argument. It's a major flex of her Forrester privilege, but honestly it is so incredibly dark. She is backing Liam into a corner with no escape route. She is threatening to strip away the one thing he loves more than anything else in this world. And this is where the psychic damage truly begins. Listen, you can see something snap behind Liam's eyes. You can actually witness the exact millisecond his sanity fractures. All the decades of ping-ponging between Steffy and Hope, all the unresolved resentment, the emasculation, the stress of the corporate war, and now the ultimate threat of losing his daughter, it all coalesces into this blinding, white-hot rage. Suddenly, the waffle's gone. The passive, soft-spoken Liam Spencer is dead. Basically, he's a cornered animal. And what does a cornered animal do? It strikes. He slapped her. I am not joking. He literally raised his hand and delivered a massive, earth-shattering slap right across Steffi's face. The sound alone was like a sonic boom echoing through my living room. I jumped out of my chair so fast, I knocked over my coffee. This is not a drill. Liam Spencer just physically assaulted Steffy Forrester. The sheer force of the blow snapped Steffi's head back. It was raw, it was visceral, and it packed a lethal crunch that absolutely shattered the fourth wall and dragged my jaw straight down to the floor. I am screaming, I am literally hyperventilating. You do not do that, you never do that. Look, the silence that followed that slap was deafening. It was that heavy, suffocating silence where the air gets sucked out of the room. Steffi's hand slowly went up to her cheek, her eyes wide with a mixture of absolute shock and pure unadulterated hatred. Liam stood there, his chest heaving, staring at his own hand like it belonged to a stranger. Honestly, in that split second, I felt a chaotic spiral of emotions. Part of me was like, wow, he finally stood up for himself. But then I immediately course-corrected. Whoa, wait, no, what am I saying? He hit a woman. He hit the mother of his child. Basically, Liam just crossed an unforgivable line. He didn't just burn the bridge, he nuked it from orbit. But the true horror, the absolute devastating tragedy of this scene wasn't just the physical violence. Suddenly, a sound breaks the silence. It's a small, terrified whimper. Kelly. Listen. Kelly saw the whole thing. She saw her father strike her mother. She saw the violence, the rage, the absolute destruction of her safe space. And she starts to cry. Not just a little whimper, but a full-blown, hysterical, soul-crushing sob. She is terrified of her own father. Look, that broke me. It absolutely broke me. Liam looks over at his daughter, and you can see the immediate, crushing weight of what he has just done crash down on him. He didn't just hit Steffy, he traumatized Kelly. He proved Steffi's point. He showed that he is out of control, unstable, and deeply unsafe. Honestly, I am spiraling again. Wait, why are we like this? Why do the writers insist on putting these characters through this level of trauma? Basically, Liam has just handed Steffi the custody case on a silver platter. She doesn't even need to use her force or influence anymore. She just needs to tell a judge that Liam assaulted her in front of their child. It's a total game changer for the entire show. Liam is absolutely ruined. His reputation, his moral high ground, his relationship with his daughter, it is all gone. And part of me thinks, well, Steffi pushed him to the absolute brink with that custody threat. She poked the bear until it bit her. But no, contradicting myself again, there is no excuse. None. Zero. Liam is a monster for this. Look, the fallout from this is going to be apocalyptic. When Ridge finds out about this, when Thomas finds out, they are going to literally hunt Liam down. The Forrester men are going to destroy him. And what about Hope is Hope? Going to stand by a man who just slapped his ex-wife in front of their child. Honestly, if she does, she is just as delusional as Steffi claims she is. This isn't just about fashion lines or corporate contracts anymore. This is about domestic violence. This is about a family being irreparably shattered by a single moment of uncontrollable rage. Suddenly, the Logan Forrester war isn't just a boardroom battle, it's a blood feud. Look, let's just take a moment to really deep dive into the sacred geography of the Cliff House. This place is supposed to be Steffi's sanctuary. It is the physical manifestation of her independence, her power, and her legacy. How many times have we seen her stand by that giant glass window, looking out at the ocean, making decisions that shape the entire fashion industry? For Liam to storm into that specific space, the space he used to share with her, a space that holds so much history and ghosts of their past, and violate it with such a grotesque display of physical violence. It's a desecration. Basically, he didn't just strike her face, he shattered the safety of her home. Honestly, I don't think Steffi will ever be able to look at that living room the same way again. The psychic residue of that slap is going to haunt those walls forever. It is a major flex of toxic masculinity, and I am absolutely disgusted. And wait, let's talk about the Logan women for a second, because my brain is actively short-circuiting trying to predict their reactions. Brooke Logan Forrester is going to lose her absolute mind. She has spent decades defending Liam, propping him up as the perfect man for Hope, the golden boy of the Spencer family. Suddenly, her golden boy is a domestic abuser. How is she going to spin this? Is she going to blame Steffi? Oh my god. She is totally going to blame Steffi, isn't she? She's going to say Steffi provoked him. Listen, if Brooke tries to justify Liam slapping Steffi, I will literally throw my television out the window. And Katie is the one who started this whole mess by poaching Hope to Logan in the first place. If she had just listened to Donna's warnings about the family crumbling, none of this would have happened. Basically, the blood is on Katie's hands too. This entire fashion house rivalry has metastasized into real physical violence, and low-key they're all complicit. Listen, Carter warned them. Carter literally sat Ridge and Steffi down and warned them that this feud was going to escalate if they didn't compromise with Hope. But nobody listened. Katie is ignoring Donna's warnings. Steffi is plotting revenge. Brooke is blaming Katie. And now Liam has committed the ultimate sin. Basically, every single character on this show is operating on maximum toxicity right now. The vibe is so dark, so heavy, that I low-key need therapy just to process it. I mean, we are talking about legacy characters fundamentally breaking their core traits. Liam the pacifist gone. Steffi, the untouchable queen, physically struck down in her own home. It is absolute madness. I am exhausted. I am physically and emotionally drained. Look, I don't know where the show goes from here. I really don't. The writers have painted Liam into a corner that he can never ever walk out of. He is the villain now. And Steffi is going to go on a warpath that will make her previous sabotage look like a children's tea party. Honestly, I am terrified for the next episode. I am terrified for Kelly. I am terrified for my own sanity, because I know I am going to be obsessively analyzing every single frame of this fallout. Basically, this is the most insane thing The Bold and the Beautiful has done in a decade. And I am here for it, but I also hate it. I hate it so much. Please tell me I'm not the only one losing my mind over this. I need to go to sleep. But I know I'm just going to stare at the ceiling replaying that slap. End of rant.